it. I could see most of them. And again, later in the show, I'll tell you my picks, not my sleepers, but just my picks for those same categories. Second down. Roberto sorry, I can't say your name, man. Aguayo, kicker out of FSU, Florida State. This guy never missed in college. Every time I watched a Florida State game, they talked about it. He didn't miss at all. Extra points, field goals. If it was inside 50 yards, you knew he was going to make it. So what do the Bucs do? Tampa Bay, they go ahead and take him with their second-round pick, a kicker in the second round. And in his first attempt in the NFL preseason, he misses. And this is a guy who just doesn't miss. He doesn't do it. He's automatic. He's more automatic than any kicker I've ever seen. Now, true, this is another level. It's the NFL. Maybe nerves got to him a little bit. Maybe the stage got to him a little bit. The oh my God moment might have happened to him on that first kick. And now maybe he'll settle down and things will work out a little better. But it's interesting to see. It's always interesting to see how kickers can go from being really good to really bad to really good to really bad. And the ebbs and flows that there are in kicking. Even if you're consistent for a long time in the kicking game, eventually it's going to catch up to you. And you're going to have a down week, a down season. It's bound to happen. Doesn't matter who you are. All right, this is something cool locally here that the Denver Broncos are doing over at, what do we call the stadium right now? Blank at Mile High. In the parking lot, they have erected a mini Mile High stadium. It's a mini version of the old Mile High that you're able to tour through, walk through, check out, and take pictures with and all kinds of stuff. It's actually pretty cool. If I was a rich, eccentric person, I would have something like that probably on my property somewhere of my favorite teams. That's how cool I think it is. But again, who has money for that? But at this mini Mile High, they have a statue of Barrelman. And for those of you who don't know who Barrelman is, for a long time, dating back into the 70s, Barrelman was a guy who would show up to Broncos games wearing a barrel, some suspenders, a Broncos hat, and some cowboy boots. And he would get the crowd going with cheers. He'd show up sun, rain, snow, wearing the barrel. The big question was, did he ever have anything on underneath the barrel, right? Well, I had the privilege of actually going to school with Barrelman's granddaughters over at Rangeview High School when I was in high school, dating back 20 years ago. I started high school. So I got to have a newfound respect for him, knowing who his family was. And after he passed, his family and Rangeview High School got together, and for a season, the honorary mascot of the high school was the Barrelman. And we had a couple of kids from the school who wore the barrels, just in honor of who he was and what he meant to the community and his daughters and the legacy and all that. And as far as NFL mascots, fan mascots go, to me, Barrelman is one of the cooler ones we got out there, or we had out there. So I love seeing that the Broncos have found a way to honor him. I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame as the official Broncos mascot. When they did all the fan mascots, I don't know, maybe got almost 5 years ago now, maybe, when they put all the fan mascots in, he was the guy who went in for the Broncos. So good for him for being a super fan. Good for him, good for the Broncos for honoring him with this statue outside of the mini stadium, which I believe will be up throughout the regular season, just to pay homage to a guy who gave so much to the team and had so much love for the team. So it's good to see that. Very good. All right, Houston Texan fans gotta love to see this. Yesterday, Jadeveon Clowney had a very good game, disruptive game while he was in there against the Saints. Played limited snaps. He wasn't in, the whole game or anything like that. Again, it's preseason. But while he was in there, he had, 2 tackles and a sack. He wreaked havoc, both sides from the right and the left, and he pressured Drew Brees and the Saints into making mistakes and rushing plays and things like that. He looked like what you would expect, finally, a number one pick to have looked like. Are we going to see that throughout the season? Is he going to stay healthy? Can he hold down the ship until J.J. Watt, who's the real beast on that team, comes back? And then we finally get to see what we thought we were going to see when they drafted Clowney to go with J.J. Watt. If both of them are healthy for a long enough period of the season, 10, 12 games, because we already know J.J. Watt's not going to be there for probably the first couple, maybe the first month. But if they get a healthy J.J. Watt, and they get this same production out of Jadeveon Clowney for the whole season, Houston's going to be tough in that division. Real tough. Because J.J. Watt's a beast. And if you got somebody else on the other side that now is going to command a double team, a handful of times a game, look out for that pass rush. Fifth down. This is something the players that were listed in the Al Jazeera report, they have decided to go ahead and talk with the commissioner in the NFL about what's going on as opposed to face the automatic suspension that would have come here in a few days on the 25th. I would have liked it had the players union, all the players just decided, you know what? No, you're not doing this. Your power's going too far. And guess what? We're not playing anymore. You can drop it. You can do an investigation on the side. But you are not going to suspend our players for not talking to you by a deadline. If you want to do an investigation, that's fine. If you want to do it on the side, that's fine. But you're not going to make threats anymore. You're not going to hang things over us anymore. And we're going to start getting to a point to where everything is balanced out. That's what I would have liked to have seen. I would have liked to have seen the NFL's player union gain a little more power back, get a little bit closer to where baseball's player union is. Because they have almost all the power in baseball. The players decide what's going on. The league just says, okay. All right, when we come back from the break, we're going to hit the headlines, and we'll find out why the Mongolian wrestling coaches were so upset. Hey guys, the NFL season is almost here, and you know what that means? Fantasy football is right around the corner. Did you win your fantasy league last year? Would you like to win some extra money playing in a daily fantasy football this season? If so, the DirtCannon.com is here to help. You can get numbers and projections anywhere. But if you want to build a winner for a full season fantasy team, or just looking to win consistently in daily games, then do what I did and join the DirtCannon.com. They have it all in one place, fellas. Whether a bronze member or a silver, they will hook you up. I recommend the silver package. Starting today for the silver package, use my code RDST and you will get a customized 2016 NFL Draft Kit, Draft Day Intelligence, and access to their award-winning lineup analyzer with expert insight and analysis. So win your league, make some money, and take home the bragging rights with the DirtCannon.com. And use Real Deal Sports Talk's promo code RDST. And for the first month, with my code RDST, get $4.99 off the first month of your silver membership. All right, let's hit up the headlines, fellas. Let's hit up the headlines. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but Mongolia had a wrestler going in the bronze medal match. They lost the bronze medal match in this wrestling weight class, and after the match, the Mongolian coaches started stripping off their clothes and throwing them at the judges because they were so disappointed in this outcome and the way they judged the fight. Now, we've seen this in many sports. We've seen the baseball managers flip out, throw the rosin bag, throw bases, kick dirt all over the bases. You know, we've seen events where people take their clothes off, like the Naked Mile up in Michigan. We've seen different tirades from coaches in the NFL in their post-game speeches. We've even seen a White Sox player who stupidly slid into a base, got dirt in his pants, undid his belt, and started shaking the dirt out of his pants in front of the whole stadium during a game. But for some reason, when I saw the footage of these Mongolian wrestling coaches chucking their clothes at the judges, it just got me to laugh. It was something that was funny. It was, you don't expect to see that at the Olympics. And it was, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It'll probably make you laugh too. Just like all these other times coaches or managers lose it. One manager who doesn't lose it, that apparently I was right about and other people might feel the same way I feel about, is Greg Popovich. LeBron James, when asked this week, said that he believes Greg Popovich is the best NBA coach of all time. And I had this debate with you guys a while back. I had some people, not like what I said or disagree with me or whatever. And that's fine. I don't care. Disagree with me. That's the best part about conversation and debate in sports. We can disagree. It doesn't mean anything on the field's going to change. It's a conversation. But I agree with LeBron on this. Popovich is the best basketball coach that I can think of in the NBA of all time. Now, I know Wooden gets a lot of credit for what he did there in Los Angeles with UCLA. Some of that has to be accredited to the talent he had, okay? Nice coach, good qualities, understood love and passion and protecting your players and family aspect of sports and how to bring people together and all that. But as far as pure coaching the game, I think I would even give the nod to Greg Popovich on this. And I agree with LeBron James. Popovich is going to take over for Coach K with Team USA after this year. We all know what he's done with the Spurs and looks like he's going to continue doing there. He's a great coach, no way around it. Here's a headline that I saw that just caught me off guard. Didn't know this was even real. I had to check it to make sure. But Brazil won their first gold medal in soccer this year. Now, this is a country I've always just associated with soccer. When I think of soccer, worldwide soccer, football, I think of Brazil. Because it's not one of these specialty teams in a league that I don't follow, because soccer's not one of the key things for me. For everybody it is, that's your thing, cool, I ain't got a problem with that. For me, I don't follow all the different leagues in Europe and all the different Latin American leagues and all this. When I think of countries, sorry, that's what I do. World Cup, Olympics, that's how I think of soccer. MLS and the Rapids. But I would have expected Brazil to have multiple golds, like multiple World Cup titles. So to hear that Neymar was leading them to their first gold medal in the Olympics over Germany in the shootout, that surprised me. Very surprised. What surprised everybody in Cleveland, don't know if you guys saw this, but this was a great play Friday night in Cleveland. Outfielder Tyler Naquin of the Cleveland Indians hit an inside the park walk-off home run against the Blue Jays to win the game 3-2. So the game's tied 2-2, final half inning of the game, and this guy comes up, and inside the park home runs are to me one of the most exciting plays in baseball outside of a triple play, or maybe a throw to the plate from the outfield for an out. Certain plays are just more exciting. Some sacrifice bunts can be exciting. But an inside the park home run, as rare as it is, because you need everything to go right. It can't be an error, can't be a throwing error. You can't have any of that happen. It has to be a legitimate hit. You get around the bases before they can get the ball to home. As hard as that is, in the moment, this guy went ahead and did it as a walk-off home run, a walk-off hit. Game tied. End of the game. This is a Cleveland team who's been on a roll. They've been hot. They've been following in the sports footsteps of the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's amazing to me. How much fun is that? That's just great. Gotta love it. Now, there's a bunch of other stuff I wanted to get to today. Like McGregor is going to have to defend his title next. There's not going to be a rubber match next, Dana White says. I wanted to talk more about that. I wanted to talk more about the men winning the Olympics gold and the women dominating for their sixth straight. But we're out of time. So I'm going to thank thedirtcannon.com for partnering with my show. I'm going to thank you, the listeners, for taking time to listen to my show and give me feedback. And until next time, everybody, just be real.